In the modern world, if you're someone who feels chosen or awakened, you likely have an aversion to the way money is made. Carl Jung would describe this as a conflict between persona and self. The persona is the mask we wear to fit in, the social self, the person who conforms to societal expectations, attends the meeting, and applies for the high-paying job. But then there's the self, the deeper, truer part of who we are, the part that resists this mask. This internal struggle often feels like financial stuckness, but in reality, it's a spiritual refusal. Jung's concept of the persona refers to the roles we play in the world, often roles we feel pressured to assume to be accepted, admired, or financially successful. In this context, the persona may push you to work a job that looks good on paper, that provides a comfortable paycheck, but deep down, you feel misaligned. You may experience tension, anxiety, or frustration because the very act of earning a living in such a way compromises your authenticity. What happens when the persona and the self collide? Well, this is where the discomfort arises. You begin to feel stuck, unable to find your path forward, or worse, like something's wrong with you for feeling uneasy in the system. This is not necessarily a financial problem, but a psychic one. You're experiencing the rebellion of your soul, refusing to make a living by compromising your values. You might have already tried to conform. You've likely sat under harsh fluorescent lights, your chest tightening as you pretend to agree with ideas that didn't sit right with you. You nodded along in meetings where truth was obscured for the sake of profits. You may have even accepted offers from organizations or industries that thrive on people's discomfort, like industries that profit from ill health, misinformation, or societal debt. And every cell in your body screamed, "This isn't me." The internal friction of being asked to participate in systems that operate on unconsciousness, whether in media, sales, politics, or corporate structures, can feel like a spiritual war. Jung warned that what we refuse to bring into the light of consciousness controls us from the shadows. So, if you feel deeply called to bring light into the world, of course, the shadow economy will feel like a poor fit. This clash isn't just an isolated personal struggle. It's an echo of a larger cultural condition. Industries, from media to corporate sales tactics, operate on distortion. The media rewards outrage over nuance. Corporate environments prioritize optics over substance, and sales cultures often frame manipulation as success. But none of this is your fault, and you don't need to demonize every person working within these systems to recognize that parts of the economy are built on unconscious behavior. As a sensitive soul, these environments may feel stifling, but there is hope. Your discomfort doesn't mean you're incapable of thriving. It means you're being called to something better, something more authentic. You were not chosen to blend in with these systems, but to bring your truth to the forefront, even if it means stepping outside of conventional structures. Jung believed that the process of becoming who you truly are is called individuation. When you live your life in alignment with your deeper self, you experience greater clarity, peace, and fulfillment. But when you live against the grain of individuation, your soul rebels. That rebellion may manifest as burnout, anxiety, and an inability to unlock the financial flow that feels sustainable. Your inner system is protecting you from a path that would ultimately cost you your soul. In the next sections, we'll explore how to reconcile this inner conflict, how to find work that aligns with your values, and how to make money in a way that honors both your spirit and your financial needs. But first, take a deep breath. This journey is not about hardening or conforming. It's about integration, finding ways to build wealth and success that don't compromise your integrity. Let's move into how we can do that, starting with understanding the trauma from our childhood that shapes our financial relationship today. The roots of financial struggles, childhood conditioning. To understand why financial success feels so challenging for many awakened souls, we must first dive into the past, specifically into childhood. Jung's concept of complexes can offer valuable insights into how early life experiences shape our current financial reality. These complexes are powerful, emotionally charged knots of memory that form during childhood, often in response to early family dynamics and the way we were taught to relate to love, value, and money. For many who feel chosen or sensitive, the environment they grew up in was one where love was conditional and worth had a price tag. Perhaps you were the scapegoat in your family, blamed when things went wrong, and only praised when you were invisible. Or maybe you were the family mascot, the one who performed cheerfulness to distract from the adult pain that filled the home. Perhaps you were the caretaker, always trying to stabilize a chaotic environment by becoming the emotional adult, even though you were still a child. These roles are incredibly powerful because they train you to override your body's truth in order to fit into the family system and keep things running smoothly. The most insidious part of this is that these early experiences teach you to associate worth with sacrifice, to equate self-worth with how much you give or how much you disappear. These are lessons that often carry over into adulthood, especially when it comes to money. If you were taught that love and attention came only when you sacrificed your needs for others, you might find it hard to ask for what you deserve in the financial realm. You might even undervalue your own worth, thinking that to receive abundance, you must give up part of yourself, be invisible, or be good in ways that feel inauthentic to you. This conditioning doesn't just impact how we see ourselves, but also how we see money. If we grew up in an environment where money was scarce or tied to shame, then making money as an adult can feel like a betrayal of who we are. If money in your childhood felt like something that was earned through suffering or emotional manipulation, you might subconsciously carry that belief into your adult life. The fear of visibility and worthiness remains. The most common manifestation of this internalized shame and trauma is undercharging, undervaluing your services, your worth, your expertise. This comes from the deep-seated fear that if you ask for what you're truly worth, you'll be rejected, abandoned, or judged. But here's the shift. Financial flourishing isn't just about making more money. It's about healing these old wounds and learning to separate your worth from your wage. If your early survival code still sees success and visibility as a threat, your nervous system will not allow you to access long-term financial prosperity. But it's possible to rewire these patterns. It's a process of moving beyond the childhood stories, the shame, and the fear of standing in your truth. Rewriting your financial story. So what does it look like to begin rewriting your financial story? It begins with healing, with acknowledging the patterns that were created in childhood and reclaiming your right to earn without guilt, shame, or self-sabotage. Jung believed that when we confront the unconscious parts of ourselves, we free up energy to create a more authentic and fulfilling life. This is the essence of shadow work, bringing the unconscious into the light, accepting the parts of us that we've rejected, and finding the courage to live from a place of wholeness. This process involves looking at the beliefs you've inherited about money and success. For example, you might have been taught that success comes at the cost of personal sacrifice, that it's not okay to have money without feeling guilty about it, or that showing up fully in your power will make you a target for criticism. These beliefs are not truths. They are simply old stories that no longer serve you. As you begin to clear the inherited shame, the fear of visibility, and the belief that success equals betrayal, you'll start to experience a shift in how you approach work and money. Boundaries become crucial in this process. By setting clear boundaries, not just with others, but with yourself, you can begin to separate your self-worth from external validation. Think about it. If your self-worth isn't tied to how much you produce or how much you earn, then you're free to create a life that truly aligns with your deeper values. This freedom allows you to show up in a way that doesn't require compromising your soul in exchange for financial success. It's a process of integration, where your values and your work are in harmony, and your financial success becomes a reflection of the value you deliver, not a reflection of your inner scarcity. You might start small. You might begin by offering simple services that align with your natural gifts, things that feel good to do without needing external validation. Educating, guiding, creating, and supporting others don't require you to sell your soul. In fact, these can become ways for you to not just survive financially, but to thrive in a way that feels authentic to who you are. In the next section, we'll explore concrete strategies to help you take the next steps in finding financial alignment, without compromising your integrity or your sense of self. It's about realizing that you don't have to play the old game. You can change the rules and create a new path that serves you in the world in an ethical, sustainable way. The shadow economy and how to navigate it. As we move from the personal into the collective, it's essential to address the larger shadow economy that many sensitive and ethical individuals find themselves navigating. This shadow economy operates in the unseen corners of society. It's a system where profit often comes at the expense of people's well-being, truth, and sustainability. Whether in media, marketing, healthcare, or even corporate environments, parts of our economy thrive on unconsciousness, the manipulation of facts, emotions, and perceptions to serve a specific agenda. This is where ethical entrepreneurs often feel out of sync with the traditional models of financial success. One key challenge is that the financial rewards often favor those who perpetuate the illusions. The media industry rewards outrage over nuance, with headlines crafted to provoke rather than inform. Corporate structures value optics over substance, where image, not integrity, often takes center stage. Sales cultures push manipulation under the guise of closing deals, and bureaucratic roles often reduce human beings to numbers. For someone deeply aligned with truth and authenticity, these environments feel not just uncomfortable, but fundamentally incompatible with their personal values. However, it's important to acknowledge a critical truth. Not every individual or organization operating within these systems is malicious. Many people are simply unaware or trapped in a cycle of survival. But for those who are consciously choosing a path of integrity, these systems are misaligned with their purpose. The key here isn't to condemn these industries or those within them, but to understand the fundamental difference between living in alignment with your soul versus playing into systems that diminish your authentic self. Jung warned that what we refuse to make conscious rules us from the shadows. If you've been conditioned to believe that success requires you to compromise your values, you might be unconsciously repeating this pattern, even as you resist it. The tension between your deeper knowing and the demands of the system creates a psychic burden, which can lead to burnout, frustration, and disillusionment. The more you try to fit yourself into a system that doesn't honor your essence, the more you'll feel like you're losing your way. This conflict might make it feel like you're stuck, but what you're really experiencing is a deep spiritual refusal. Your inner self is pushing back against systems that ask you to sacrifice your soul for a paycheck. And the rebellion you feel, whether it's in the form of numbness, self-sabotage, or a lack of financial flow, is your psyche's way of protecting you from living a life that doesn't align with your truth. Moving toward integrity. How to navigate ethical earning. The good news is that ethical earning is not only possible, it's deeply rewarding. But to create a life that aligns with your values, it's necessary to reject the old games and begin building new, more sustainable models of work and income. Step 1. Shift your mindset about money. One of the most important shifts you can make is in how you view money. In the shadow economy, money often feels like a zero-sum game. Either you get it by compromising your integrity, or you don't get it at all. But this mindset is based on scarcity, the belief that there's not enough to go around unless someone loses. The truth, however, is that money is an exchange of value. When you provide real value, not only to others, but to yourself, the financial rewards can follow naturally. Start by focusing on the transformation you offer, not just the service. The difference is subtle but profound. When you focus on the outcome, you understand that people are not paying for your time, but for the value you're delivering to their lives. This is where the idea of outcomes becomes critical. Whether you're coaching, teaching, or creating, you're offering a solution, a way to make their lives better, easier, or more fulfilled. This shift in thinking removes the pressure of selling yourself and allows you to focus on the service. Step 2. Create a business that aligns with your soul. One way to start living in alignment with your values is to build a business that serves both you and others ethically. This doesn't mean you need to go big right away. Start small, but make sure that everything you do is in alignment with your truth. You don't have to be the face of a brand to create an impact. In fact, if visibility is a concern for you, it's okay to build your work anonymously or behind the scenes, using your talents to create value without being exposed to unnecessary pressure. You might begin with creating educational content, like short videos or blog posts, that teach principles of spiritual integration, nervous system regulation, or any subject you're passionate about. The key here is that these platforms allow you to offer your wisdom without needing to compromise your integrity for the sake of visibility. Step 3. Design a product or service that helps people heal. If you're struggling with the idea of making money from your soul work, it might be helpful to reframe what success looks like. Instead of focusing on earning large amounts of money quickly, aim to create something that will help people in ways that are both meaningful and healing. This could be anything from digital workbooks and audio guides to coaching services or online courses that help people overcome emotional blocks or gain clarity in their lives. Even if your goal is not to become a public figure in the traditional sense, there is no limit to the impact you can make. Creating a passive income stream through these types of products allows you to scale without sacrificing your energy, privacy, or personal values. And when done with sincerity, your work will find its rightful audience. Practical steps to build integrity-based income. Now that we've established the importance of shifting your mindset around money and success, let's dive deeper into practical strategies for building a career or business that aligns with your values. Moving away from traditional, exploitative models of success involves creating new systems that honor your soul's work, your emotional well-being, and the healing process you want to facilitate in others. It also involves being intentional in every aspect of your professional life, from boundaries to pricing and how you show up. Step 4. Set clear boundaries. One of the most essential tools for sustainable success in alignment with your values is setting boundaries. Boundaries are not about shutting people out or being rigid. They are the shape of your yes. Boundaries help you decide what is and isn't acceptable in your work, your time, and your emotional energy. They give you the space to create, serve, and make money in ways that feel good to you, rather than burn you out or lead to resentment. Define your working hours. When you don't set clear boundaries, you risk being overwhelmed by the demands of others. By establishing set hours for your work, you allow yourself space for rest, creativity, and life outside of work. Decide on your response times. Setting boundaries around how quickly you respond to emails or inquiries also ensures that you don't feel rushed or overly burdened. This might mean no emails after 6 p.m. or a 24-hour response time. Clarify what your service includes. Make sure that your clients or customers understand the scope of what you provide. By communicating your boundaries clearly, you protect yourself from over-delivering out of a need for approval or out of guilt. When you define what your offerings are, people are much more likely to respect your time and energy. Clear boundaries protect your nervous system from burnout and prevent resentment from seeping into your work. With healthy boundaries, you'll find that your work feels more expansive rather than draining. Step 5. Price your work according to value, not time. One of the most common challenges for people who are committed to ethical, soul-aligned work is determining how to price their services in a way that reflects both their worth and the value they provide. The traditional model of charging by the hour can often lead to burnout because it's based on time rather than outcomes. Here's the shift. Instead of pricing your work based on how many hours you spend, price it according to the value you are offering to your clients or customers. When you offer a service that facilitates transformation, such as coaching, consulting, healing work, or even educational content, you're helping someone cross a bridge from where they are to where they want to be. You're not just selling time. You're selling a solution to their problem, a pathway that leads to a clearer, healthier, or more fulfilling life. Start by identifying the outcome your work provides. What is the transformation your clients will experience? For instance, if you're a coach, what results will your clients see after working with you? Will they feel more grounded, more empowered, or more capable of navigating their lives with clarity? Define these outcomes and price your service based on the value of these results, not on how long you spend working. It's also essential to stop undervaluing yourself. If you find yourself undercharging because you're afraid of rejection or criticism, remember that your time and energy are valuable, and the people who resonate with your work will gladly pay for the transformation you provide. Don't apologize for charging what you're worth. Those who see the value in your service will pay for it, and they will feel better for having invested in their own growth. Step 6. Cultivate visibility on your own terms. Visibility is another crucial area for those who want to earn a soul-aligned income. For many sensitive souls, the idea of being visible, of having their face, voice, or name attached to their work, can feel deeply uncomfortable or even unsafe. But here's the truth. Visibility is a tool. It is not about posturing or seeking validation. It's about using your platform to share your message and reach the people who need what you offer. You don't need to expose every part of yourself to the world. You can start small, and visibility can come in many forms. One way to ease into visibility is by building a faceless channel or an anonymous platform where your ideas, expertise, or services shine without requiring you to put your personal identity front and center. This could be a podcast, a blog, an anonymous YouTube channel, or even a curated social media account that doesn't require your face to be shown. Visibility might also come in the form of voice-only work like creating guided meditations, audiobooks, or online courses. These platforms allow you to connect deeply with an audience while maintaining a level of privacy and emotional safety. By gradually expanding your visibility, you can start to experience the benefits of reaching more people without forcing yourself into uncomfortable or unsustainable levels of exposure. Over time, you'll build resilience and confidence in your ability to show up fully in ways that feel safe and aligned with your boundaries. Step 7. Keep going, even when the results are slow. The road to building a soul-aligned business or career is not about instant gratification. It's about consistency and patience. It's about showing up week after week with integrity and authenticity, even when you don't see immediate returns. There will be times when progress feels slow. The clients may not come right away. The money might not flow as quickly as you'd hoped. But remember, slow growth is sustainable growth. Trust the process. Every day that you show up and offer your gifts, you are building momentum. Jung's concept of individuation, the process of becoming your true self, is not a quick or linear journey. It's a gradual unfolding, one step at a time. And as you continue to walk this path, you'll begin to notice that you're not just changing your own life, but also creating a ripple effect that touches others in ways you may not yet fully understand. Embrace patience and trust the process. By now, you've learned that creating a soul-aligned career or business is a process that requires deep self-awareness, patience, and commitment to your values. There's no quick fix or shortcut. This journey is about building something sustainable, something that feels right in your body, mind, and soul. It's important to remember that the old economy, the system that thrives on illusion, will try to pull you back in. It will try to convince you that success can only come by playing the game according to its rules, that to win, you must compromise. But that is not your path. The truth is, the more you align your work with your true self, the more you'll find that the universe supports you in ways you can't predict. Trust the process, and remember that patience is your ally. You don't need to achieve everything at once. It's easy to fall into the trap of measuring success by immediate results, but in truth, success in the long run is built on steady, consistent action. Seasonal progress is natural. First, you craft something of value. Then, you signal it to the world. Finally, you scale it in a way that doesn't burn you out or force you to compromise your integrity. The key is to honor the seasons. Don't rush yourself or compare your progress to others who may be playing by different rules. Their success may be built on unsustainable models, while yours is grounded in authenticity and integrity. Over time, as you remain true to your values and offer real solutions to real problems, the right people, those who resonate with your truth, will find you. The power of small, consistent actions. The most profound shifts come from small, consistent actions. These are the little choices you make every day that align your work with your values. Whether it's the way you communicate with clients, the way you price your services, or the way you choose to show up in your business, these decisions matter. For example, the next time you feel the urge to undercharge because someone seems disappointed or over-deliver because you want to prove your worth, take a step back. Breathe, and remind yourself that your worth is not tied to pleasing others or sacrificing your energy. Your services should reflect your true value, the transformation you offer, not just the effort you expend. Set boundaries that honor your time and energy. These small, honest choices, whether it's pricing with clarity, saying no when you need to, or protecting your time for rest and creation, will slowly rewire your nervous system. They'll help you break free from old survival patterns that link money with guilt and self-worth with sacrifice. Each decision, no matter how small, shifts the trajectory of your path. Over time, these shifts create a ripple effect, not just in your own life, but in the lives of your clients and the broader community. Sustainable success is rooted in integrity. In the end, Your journey isn't about playing the game better than the old system. It's about creating your own game, one that honors your truth and doesn't force you to betray yourself for the sake of financial gain. This is where true sustainable success lies, in finding the intersection between meaningful work and ethical income. As you continue on this path, remember that the right people will find you. They will be the ones who resonate with your authenticity, who appreciate the value you offer, and who are ready to invest in the transformation you can facilitate. And with these people, you will build a community of like-minded individuals who understand that integrity doesn't just lead to peace of mind. It leads to financial flourishing too. Jung said, "What we refuse to confront returns as fate." If you refuse to confront your own fear of visibility, your own fear of worthiness, or your own fear of asking for what you deserve, those things will continue to control your fate. But if you bring those fears into the light and choose to work in alignment with your true self, you'll find that the game changes. The truth is, you are not behind. You are on an assignment. The detours, the pauses, the moments of frustration, these were not failures. They were the training in integrity that you needed to strengthen your foundation. Integrity is the gold that leads to lasting success, and it is the currency that will pay you back over time. You may not win the game in the way the world defines success, but you will create a life that feels honest, purposeful, and free. A final affirmation. If this message resonates with you, carry it into your daily life. Commit to making money in alignment with your soul, not by sacrificing your essence, but by offering the world something meaningful. Your work is valuable, your integrity is invaluable, and the money will follow when you live true to yourself. So, here's your affirmation. I choose to make money in alignment with my soul. Keep repeating this affirmation, and as you do, allow it to permeate every part of your life. Each small action, each courageous choice, will build your path to a life where financial success and spiritual alignment can exist together in harmony. The game didn't change you. You changed the game by playing as yourself. This is your truth. Embrace it. The world is waiting for your light. Keep going. Your calm is currency. Your clarity is currency. Your compassion is currency. And yes, your work will be paid. It's only a matter of time. And as you move forward, know that your journey is not just about survival. It's about creating a life that feels honest, purposeful, and free. Closing thoughts. This path will not always be easy, but it will always be worth it. Keep showing up, keep honoring your boundaries, and keep choosing work that aligns with your soul. As you do, you will see that financial success, when built on authenticity, integrity, and love, is not only possible, but it can be profoundly fulfilling. Stay true to yourself, and the right people will find you.